Well, good morning from a very wet, windy and cold New Brighton in northwest England. It's absolutely horrible conditions today, but I knew they were going to be horrible, so I decided to come out anyway, and I'm going to shoot with something which I think will actually suit the weather. That's my little pinhole camera. So let's head off out and see what we can get. Now, as you can probably see behind me, there's got a lot of potential here really for sort of pinhole work. The breakwaters going out towards the sea are going to make quite a dramatic line, and the pinhole camera, with its sort of soft ethereal effect, will probably make the most of this dull weather. I've got a 400 speed black and white film in there because there's absolutely no point in me shooting colour today. It's about as monochromatic as you can get. Right, well, this is where I want to be for my pinhole shot if I can get it. The tide is still a bit too far in for me to wade across and get onto the breakwater, but this one leads out to a lovely marker post. Now that's going to give me a great aiming point, something to pull the eye into the frame, especially with square format. So I'll give it a few minutes and see if I can get on top here and make a shot. Well, I've managed to get started. I've made an image there of the breakwater, gave it 1 minute, which is quite a long time, but it is about f138, and the film will lose sensitivity as it's exposed. This is Fomapan 400. It's quite an old film, so it does have a lot of reciprocity failure. Hopefully it'll come out okay, but I think I need a better view of the sweep and the curve of the breakwater. So I'll hop down off these rather precarious rocks and see if I can get another angle. Well, I've just come back up to the top of the beach for about 5-10 minutes because the tide is still a little bit high for me to get to where I want to be on those breakwaters. So I've taken a few images around here of the water outflow and also the railings. Now, as I said, I'm using Fomapan 400 film, and the metering is never going to be that accurate with a pinhole due to the long exposure. So I've given them typically 30 seconds to a minute. Maybe a bit overexposed, but black and white film really likes that. Well, I'm actually liking the view I've got here from up on the sea wall, looking down across those breakwaters I was hopping about on earlier. I will go back down there in a minute, but just for now I'm enjoying this long shot. It's quite a nice one really, because I'm up on the dry land and it's easier to shoot. Probably about 30 seconds again with the little pinhole camera, maybe 2 frames just to be on the safe side. I've got myself a bit of a gift here in terms of pinhole opportunities. I'm on a bit of a bank, a sandbank up against the sea wall, but I have got this lovely life buoy with the dramatic sort of cross, like a bit like CND, and it's absolutely lovely against the sky, and I've kept it really simple. I don't want anything other than the sort of seawall and the life buoy in there, giving it 20 seconds and 45 seconds just to be on the safe side. It is chucking it down there, so hopefully I haven't got a raindrop land on the pinhole, because that will turn what's going to be quite a nice blurry picture into a totally impossible, rubbish, blurred mess. Okay, back down on the beach again. This time it's going to be a very, very simple composition. I just have the marker post over my shoulder, which is the only real object in the image for the eye to catch onto. The rest of it is sky, sea and sand. I'm not even sure if it's going to be too simple to show up on a pinhole camera, but it's well worth a go. And with the square format and a little bit of vignetting, I hope to be able to bring the viewer's interest into the centre. Alright, that's the roll of Fomapan 400 shot. I'm going to head off and get a drink in a minute. I'm a bit cold and a bit wet, but let me just show you the actual Zero Image 2000 camera itself. Now it's pretty simple and straightforward. This is the shutter on the front, okay, that's me opening the shutter, and that's closing it. That's as simple as it gets. It's a little simple piece of wood sliding it out of the way. Some of them have a little cable release attachment, which is really nice. This is the more basic model. Now over to the back of the camera, if I remove the top plate here, and remove this slide, you can actually see the film chamber. Okay, so my film will be loaded here and it will be drawn across in front of the pinhole here for each shot. Now you have to wind it on manually. There's no obviously automated features, and you look through the little the little ruby window here onto the film. It's that colour because it stops the light getting onto the film, but gives you just enough visibility to see the numbers. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Now, as I said, I'm going to head off and get a drink, but I'm going to go down to New Brighton itself, the town, and I think I'll take some shots with another square format 6x6 camera I brought with me, which is my old, it's a Voigtlander Perkeo 1. Now, this is a very simple, straightforward manual camera. I've used it many occasions before. I think I'll just load a roll of 400 speed film and walk around and shoot handheld, just to see what catches my eye.